Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. This will be a collective reading for those guided here. I do consider these readings to be timeless, so whenever you're guided here is the right time. Thank you in advance for liking, commenting, subscribing, all the things. It really does help us creators out, so thank you. Alright, so this is a beautiful invitation for love. That's what I'm getting from this, just off the top of the head. The first card we have number 31. 31 breaks down to a 4, which creates some new stability. And it creates a foundation. And this is the card of Juno, of partnership. So to me, this is like a Two of Cups energy. It's yeah, it just feels like a union, a deepening of a relationship, and the relationship within yourself. It's like the balancing of the feminine and the masculine. The feminine being the receptive, the open, and the masculine being that which moves forward, takes action, initiates. So there's a completion here, and it just reiterates that with number 37, which breaks down to a 10, which is a completion. And this is the descendant energy. The descendant is on the far most east when you're looking at your chart. So say this circles your chart, well, it'd be only half your chart, right? It would be right here would be the descendant. It's where you end up, where you're headed towards, is what I'm hearing. While the ascendant describes how you enter the world, the descendant is the place where you invite equal others to come into your world. It describes like how you see your peers, what you project onto others, and what you're trained to respect in them. The descendant's where the sun would be at sunset. You could be looking at, like how you invite others to dance with you, so to speak, to relate, right? By being welcoming while also keeping healthy boundaries in place. This could definitely be a new relationship for some. It's energy of, I just feel like it's an arrival. Let's keep going. We got number 21, breaks down to a 3, which is the mind, body, and soul. Yeah, you guys, the more I look at this, the more I really feel like this is an internal situation. It could definitely be both. It could be, and it's because it's the macro to the micro, right? When we invite this deepening within ourselves, then oftentimes it's reflected in the physical as well. It's interesting, these like almost line up, it looks like. For some of you, you could be manifesting like new love, new relationships. For some, you could have closed out a chapter, and this could be leading back to the union within. So it's like you close out a relationship and then it leads you back to yourself, to your soul, to your spirit. Ooh. I like that. Number 21 is Venus, beloved. And Venus is the literally the energy of love. So I feel like some, and we're going to get some tarot out here in a second here. Some have closed, I just keep getting that. Some have closed out or are closing out, and because of that, it's like you've done the work, like looking at things, like the retrograde is the review, the reevaluation, the and I feel like you have stepped closer to yourself. Like there's an element of trust here. Trusting yourself, trusting in your intuition, and there's an energy here of taking your power back as well. Let's get some, and it's interesting, this retrograde card keeps coming out, and there's no planets in retrograde right now, but it's interesting that that's the time that the retrograde card chooses to come out. It's very, like, it's come out a lot this past, since Uranus went retrograde. I'm talking, like, since all the planets have gone direct, this card keeps coming up. So there's something that you have, this could have been a longer term thing. This could have even been a cycle that you closed out in the past, and now you're seeing some results, you're seeing some reward, you're noticing how much more peaceful you are, I feel like, since you've really taken your power back. We got the Empress. This is about your parenting, or you being like a good role model, I feel like. We got the Moon in reverse. So there's a release of something that you feared, or some kind of darkness, or some kind of insecurities have been or are being released. There could have even been some like repressed emotions that were tied in with it, and I'm just like seeing them like dissipate. The more that you choose to trust in yourself, to listen to yourself, sit with yourself, to like honor yourself and therefore your soul, your essence, your spirit. Yeah, I think this is, it's really beautiful. Oh, where'd it go? Oh shit, I ran it over. Yeah, look, we got the Lovers in reverse. That's what I was getting. There was some disharmony here. There was some imbalance. And some of you may be recognizing that now. If this is resonating, but you're like, on the flip side of this, where like you are not in harmony with what's going on with this relationship, mad about it, this is a good time for you to reflect, really reflect on some things. And it's so interesting how it works when we're speaking in meditation, or like going inwards to search for an answer. It's so interesting because it only comes when you stop looking for it. When you let go completely, that's, and then you get to that place where it's the 0 point. There's nothing there, yet right in there lies everything. It's really multi-dimensional and non-linear, and it can't be grasped at. But let me tell you, like, anytime I go into meditation and I'm looking for an answer, all I'll do is I'll set my intention to find that answer for whatever it is, and I'll then bring myself into that calm, relaxed state for, however long, couple minutes, 20 minutes, even up to longer, however, there's no time limit. But then, just give yourself that space, and it might come to you like in a couple hours. It might come to you immediately. It could come to you, it'll come to you at the exact right time, in a place where it gets to the point where you can't deny that that's spirit talking back to you, that you're having this conversation with spirit, and there's the confirmation beep. So yeah, I think this is an invitation to go deeper, to grow a deeper connection with spirit through letting go. And that's what this whole reading seems to be about, right? The completion, which leads you back to the source. And the release, and here it's the release of suffering, of conflict, of indecision, of bad choices, of misalignment, whatever it is that you release. The fear, right? And which points back to the repressed emotions, the stuck energies that are repeating until recognized and cleared. Which, by the way, I've decided that later on, after a little while after I do this video, I'm gonna take a shower and get dressed, and then come on and do a video of a release of any lack mentality or limiting thoughts with EFT tapping. So make sure that you look for that video tonight as well. Let's see, anything else? Let's get a couple animal spirits before we wrap this up. I think this is a beautiful reading as it is right now. But let's see what comes up. We got turtle and tiger with the rabbit on the bottom. The rabbit suggests that you take a day of silence, or you take some time for silence. I promise it's the shit. It's so good. It's so beautiful what takes place in that 0 point, and how it literally like transforms you and deepens you, and it activates you. Okay, so it's through that 0 point, through that place of silence, that all resides. Okay. And it's experiential. You have to experience it to understand what I'm talking about. And if you have, drop into the comments and let me know. Let me know a couple words, or just say hello. The turtle is the journey. And the tiger is the inward, it's the moon essence. This is the journey within. The journey within. It's a beautiful adventure. This matrix, this 3D realm that we chose to reside in. And it's truly about returning to Creator, right? Finding God, if you will. And turns out it's within. It's beautiful. And you can gain this connection yourself. For those who haven't really practiced meditation yet, this is why I speak so highly of it. This is why I talk about it all the time, because it's truly life-changing. Once you gain this connection, this partnership, you realize true love, unconditional love. Some refer to it as nirvana, pure bliss, pure light. It's love. There he is. It's source. I knew he was going to come out. And it's receptiveness. Look at this. Look at that. You can't make this up. The beaver is about selfless service and unconditional love to family, and then we got source that came out. Anybody that watches my readings, you know the lion is source energy, right? Leo is ruled by the sun. The sun is God. I see lions in meditation all the time. I've come to the conclusion that it represents our divinity. It's our strength. The king of the jungle. It's source. And the deer is your receptivity, your intention to go inwards, to reside in that open place that flows with unconditional love. It's the silence. It's in the silence. It's the space between the breath. This is a very multidimensional energy and reading. Let's get a couple affirmations. I know myself deeply and find myself worthy. And we got the eclipse. Oh, I'm gonna create a video on the eclipse this week. That's gonna take place on April 8th. It's the second cross of the Great American eclipses that began my spiritual awakening back in 2017. We had the first X on the ecliptic that these two eclipses take, and they go like this across the US, and they're very symbolic of this awakening that's taking place on this planet right now, and those that have been sent to be awakened and to help awaken. And then we've got, I know my shadow side, and I work to willingly transform aspects of it. I know my shadow side. Speaking of, that's funny that it came up when we're speaking about an eclipse, which an eclipse is literally the shadow. I work to willingly transform aspects of it. I know my shadow side. It's funny. Look at the card that's literally laying right here. Look, we got the rabbit. Look at the rabbit. And then we're talking about shadows. Darkness. Ooh, I'm gonna read this card. This was just on a deck that was just kind of like sitting here. Another affirmation we got: I choose to take a higher perspective and widen my views. On the bottom, I have power. It is real. I choose to take a higher perspective and widen my views. I have power. It is real. And I want to read this number 40, another number 4, right? 4, again, creates stability, structure. Number 40, long night moon, darkness. You're entering a time of introversion, right? We got the review energy, so we know. You're entering a time of introversion, a leaner time, or a time to turn inward to plan and strategize. It is time to do shadow work, which will bring big dividends later on. Release what no longer works for you. It says one of the earliest human fears is said to be a fear of the dark. We fear what we can't see, and we fear what may be hiding. In reality, the dark is as important as the light. In nature, there are many nocturnal animals that go about their business living under the moon, not the sun. The darker times of the lunar and seasonal cycles signal a time to naturally turn inwards, to stay close to home, and to look closely at ourselves and to plan for the light. And that's where we're at in the northern hemisphere. We're in winter, and which is represented by the medicine of the north. And this is the time, and it's referred to like the bear, of going inwards, and we think of the bear as it hibernates. It goes in this slumber almost. So it's this deepening, this invitation, like I said in the beginning, this invitation for this deepening within. It says in the northern hemisphere, the long night moon usually occurred in December around the winter solstice. This is when the nights are indeed long and hours of sunshine short. It's cold and people would begin to be snowed in. It's during these long nights, so we're close by that, right? We had December a month ago, so we're not too, same energy. It's during these long nights that we can begin to do our shadow work, undertaking the self-reflection needed to identify what isn't working for us and what might be causing us pain. This could be a bad habit, a destructive pattern, a recurring useless fear, or anything that holds us back from being the best that we can be. And once we see these aspects of ourselves in the dark, we can simply decide whether they must go, right? We can decide to release them once and for all, and then we get to transform. Beautiful. Beautiful reading. Thank you guys so much for liking this video. It really does help. Share the video with a friend. Comment. Let me know that you are here. I'm sending so much love. Healing energies. Thank you guys for all that you do. Thank you for being the change. Love you guys.